I the cadet.
I never.
I was pregnant 3 months. I commanded my last grade.
Wow.
So from Form 1 to university, I was in the cadet.
Then you really done well. It's. I think there's going to be a very insightful discussion this morning.
Yeah. I'll tell you on that one. But reminding you that new segment on the Big Breakfast Show that
Started enjoying the very behind the scenes discussion about the National Cadet Corps. Actually, they are having a leadership training camp come the 23rd to 31st August this year at Kaleo. To join me to do this interview, I have with me the national coordinator in the person of Mr. Nicholas Nccg Amatefiu. He's the national coordinator, and then also Frank Kadruha, Acting Central Regional Coordinator. You are welcome, gentlemen, to the breakfast show. Now, a little brief about the National Cadet Corps. The Cadet Corps Ghana was first established in 1954 at the Ghana Secondary Technical School, that is the GSTS Takoradi in the Western region, which just has a handful of student cadets. Currently, the corps have membership school strength of about 223 and a numerical strength of about 23,380 in all 10 regions of the country. The National Cadet Corps Ghana is an amalgamation of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, and then the Fire Service. And that is what we are looking at this morning. I have with me, as I already introduced them, my guest here with me, the National Coordinator, and then also the Acting Central Regional Coordinator. Can you tell us there? I've been a little, I don't know if it is enough to tell what the public about what the National Cadet Corps really stands for. What can you give us a little brief background again?
Yes. Generally, what you said is a summary of what cadeting is all about. It's an amalgamation of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, Fire, and then just recently, the Customs came out with a wonderful cadet corps somewhere in the Volta region. It's our prayer that other security agencies, in hoping to inculcate discipline into the young ones, will come out with the establishment of cadet corps. The establishment is not the only problem. We are looking at how best now we can sustain it, because in other developed countries like the UK and US, the challenges they are facing 60 years down the line now is sustenance of the whole organization. So we are looking at its establishment and how best we can sustain it.
Oh, okay. With the aim and objective of forming the Cadet Corps in 1954, is it the same as we speak now?
Well, no. In 1954, the whole concept was to get young people to serve in the country, as in the military, then the Gold Coast Army, the police, the various security agencies. But now, it's turned all around. Now we are looking at volunteerism. We are looking at patriotic citizens, because a lot of young people now want to go to secondary school, go to university, and then end up traveling abroad. They want to get their doctors, become doctors, government spending money on them, and then travel and now go and do their own job that they've not learned for outside. So we are really looking at how best to tell the young person that with or without traveling, you can indeed make it here in Mother Ghana. You don't need to travel abroad. You can look at identifiable projects, and of course you can achieve it.
So these are some of the sessions that you
This is Eastern
In
Camp.
fact, when you go for campaign, for 1 week, you can just imagine young students from all over the country going through this sort of exercise. After physically going through this exercise, we're also looking at the voluntary aspect, where they identify a project to also work on that project. So it's indeed a combination of generally everything being supervised by the Ghana Armed Forces.
Let me come to Frank. Does this volunteerism have anything to do with national development, if I should put it that way?
Yes, it has. It has, because
6'9".
as you rightly said, there are many cadets or student cadets who are in school, and all they think or they know is education. They don't think of any other projects or any other developmental projects. But when you go for camps like this, everybody comes out with his or her expertise on board, especially when we are doing renovations and then other cleanup exercises in communal labor and so on and so forth. So with that, gradually it builds up the kind of development we want within the cadet corps and then out of the cadet corps too.
Same to you. The national. Do they have any response to the national agenda?
Of course. We believe that government alone cannot achieve all. If we say we are waiting for government or private companies or organizations to come and help us build Ghana, we're definitely going to fail. That is why the National Cadet Corps have put it upon ourselves and said that, look, with or without government, we need to do something for our community. And for the past 12 years, in fact, this year is the 12th time we're having this campaign, we contribute our own money to embark on the camp. And then out of the money that we have, the reason why we contribute is we're looking at a project in that particular region we are going to. For example, this year, the project we are looking at for is the renovation of Kaleo Secondary Technical Science Laboratory.
So last year in 2012, where do you have your camp?
Last year we went to Tepa Secondary School in the Ashanti region.
And the project you identified there has been completed.
But of course, we do it before we end the camp.
Okay.
It's a renovation of the Tepa cookhouse. That is what we do. We did. And then the Tepa community runabout. It wasn't in a very good shape. And then the entrance of the school, we really renovated it and brought it to something that anybody sees it will know that indeed this befits this particular school. So we leave a legacy.
Okay. So how does one become a member of the cadet corps? Is it for only the basic, the secondary institutions?
No, the cadet corps is almost in all the schools, right from even nursery. I do recall a school in Tema that inaugurated a Nova cadets. They are all nursery pupils. So now we have it almost in all the schools, right from the nursery, primary, GHS, SHS, university, and then the polytechnics. So it's all over the place. The cadet is open to all. It's not compulsory, it's not forced. Yeah, it's open to all. So if anyone wants to join, you
anyone outside
school. No. You have to be in a recognized institution. A recognized institution because of the logistics. The Ghana Armed Forces and various security services are particular about the usage of their various uniforms. So they don't just give it to anybody. So if you meet somebody who says, I want to buy the uniform from Fools or anywhere, the person is really telling you lie, because it's illegal for you to have in custody any security accoutrement. I mean, you could be in prison for that. And just recently, you saw a lot of young people that have been in prison just having those things. Because once you have it, you feel like, well, you need to do something. Meanwhile, you are not trained for it. So they are being given to schools. And in the schools, they have stores that are being managed by, some of them are retired soldiers. Some of them are people specially assigned to do that. Earlier on, you saw on the screen how they were ironing the cadet uniform and so on and so forth. These are uniforms that are kept by the school. So when you are leaving the school, you don't go with it. You definitely have to leave it behind, and then your others also use it. I mean, that's what you are saying. So with such uniforms and such programs, all these ones are uniforms that are left behind for the school to keep it. So you just use it and then you leave it behind. The training program also trains them how to dress up. There's a dressing competition, how to look sharp, so that you will not see student cadets with this autofista style of dressing, showing part of your breast. The ladies,
it's a kind of instilling some kind of discipline.
Exactly, in the young person. It may interest you. For the 1 week, they have maximum of about 4 hours sleep. A whole lot of activity, from one activity to the other, from one lecture to the other.
So as members of the cadet corps, they have codes of conduct.
Yes.
If any member of the cadet corps goes beyond this codes, what happens?
I mean, there's punishment. It's the same as in school. We train them that, for example, you go for a camp and we say you are supposed to be within the campsite. If you are the campsite, you'll be punished. We say there's light out at this particular time. If you are found, even outside your room after light out, you join the next available vehicle to your homes. And the painful aspect is that you pay for a camp, get there, and then the little, punishment or the little thing you think, oh, this one is normal in your school, there's a camp disciplinary committee who just call and say, in fact, because of your conduct, we cannot accept you in this camp, and then we'll sack you. It's very, very painful. And a lot of students do not want to go through that. So usually when they come, they are very attentive. By the time they leave there, their mental faculty and behavior really changes. I mean, towards work, towards doing things, I mean, everything really changes. And
is there any transition from the cadet corps to any of the security institutions that we have there, either the military, the navy, the fire service, the armed forces?
In fact, this is one big challenge we are looking at. I know the Ghana Armed Forces do not have the mandate to recruit people directly from the cadet corps, but we strongly believe it will be very, very easy for somebody to go through, let's take secondary school, 3 years of secondary education, and then join the cadet corps. Then after which he will recruit into the police or any of the security services. But presently, it's no. You know, these organizations are professional organizations, and they want you to meet their basic requirement, which is your academical work. So once you meet it, believe me, the green light is yours.
You have a background like this. It's not really kind of a challenge.
In fact,
it's an added advantage.
It's an added advantage. It's an added. Immediately, most of the leaders, even our president today, I'm informed, was a past cadet.
You see,
Rollins was a past president. Former president Rollins was. Kufuor, I'm told, was a cadet. The late Evans Attendance was a past cadet. The late former vice president was a past cadet. I'm told almost all the service commanders once upon a time joined the cadet. So
I might believe
the GBC boss, your boss was a cadet. So if you have this leadership, it tells you that it instills. I mean, you told me earlier you were not a cadet. So between you and me, definitely you see a little difference.
It's in line.
And your colleague that you spoke to earlier on was a senior officer in the cadet corps, and you could see a little different in terms of her behavior or
this thing cadet,
doing activities in the work. So we encourage that person
It's a free promotion that you are doing.
we encourage parents to allow their students to join the cadet corps, not because now cadetting have moved from marching to bravery and all that stuff. We're looking at academics, we're looking at intelligence, we're looking at how to develop the young person to be able to face the challenges ahead. And that is the new dimension of cadetting that we have all around now. And of course, we're looking at unity, where people will not go and die because of somebody. They really want to do it because I have to do it for Mother Ghana.
Exactly. So now, if a particular school wants to become a member of the National Cadet Corps, what is the process involved?
You write a letter, your school writes a letter to either the Ministry of Education or the Minister for Youth and Sports. They onward forward it to the various agencies. It may not necessarily be the Army, Navy, Air Force. It may be the police service. It may be the customs. It may be the fire service. So if you write a letter to any of these ministries, they'll forward it to us. And then we will then visit the school, discuss it with the school, and give you the option. And suggest to you, because we really want to promote all types of cadet corps that we have, not necessarily the Army, Navy, Air Force, because almost everybody wants those things. In fact, the police have a wonderful package when it comes to uniforms for cadets. The police cadet uniform, you don't get it like the way the military one, they are able to arrange for you specially. So we encourage people to also go in for police cadet to promote policing in country. You know, the first time St. Thomas Aquinas established their cadet corps, people were like, then students, anytime after they see the police, they call them, Ajay Koti. I don't know you remember that verse. Any policeman you see then was called Ajay Koti. Then the police under Peter Namfori decided to start a police cadet corps. The whole concept changed from Ajay Koti to now, police officer. So once you get the student part and parcel of you, they now understand what you do and why you do what.
Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about the training camp coming on the 23rd. The theme is patriotic youth in volunteerism, prerequisite for national development. Can you give us a little bit insight about it?
Well, like Ibrahim said, patriotic youth in volunteerism. How can a youth be very voluntary to his country? When we talk about voluntary, people look on the international market on United Nations volunteers. But of course, the United Nations volunteers have always been saying that they look at a special area of volunteerism. But in broad terms, the National Youth Authority are the technical people that we expect to embrace or foster or promote the volunteerism among the various youth organizations, like the Scouts, like the Girl Guide, Head of State Award. These are organizations that have been left in the background for a long time.
Okay.
It's time, I strongly believe, we need to revive them. Like the cadets are coming on. So we are saying that if you are able to train a youth who is in school more about patriotism, more about volunteerism, believe me, the Ghana we have in the near future is really, really bright.
Through the cadet corps.
Not necessarily through the cadet corps, not necessarily. You're really looking at the training we give. Of course, Scouts also have got their campaign and so on. In fact, this campaign, we invited people from other youth organizations to be part and parcel.
Okay.
The discipline you go through alone is what will make you a different person. Not necessarily, but we're